Hi, Amy of Fashion Toppings here with a Refashion project. Now, this is one of my husband's old shirts, and he was just going to throw it away, or not throw it away, he had it in the donate pile. But I love this color purple, so I wanted to do a project with it. And he has another one that's burgundy, and I know burgundy and purple don't go together, but I like both of these colors all the same. So I am going to try to make this into just a quick, this is going to be like 2 steps. I'm going to make this into a dress, and I'm going to make this longer by adding the middle section of this shirt. I'm going to add it into the middle section of this shirt to give it some length. So it's going to be purple, burgundy, purple. The first thing I want to do is I want to measure how large of a section do I want to have this color. And the reason this is going to be the center and not the top and the bottom, this actually has like a salad dressing stain on it, the oil, that little dark mark, and I can't get it out. But it has an oil stain right here, and so I won't donate it because I won't donate, damaged clothing. So I decided to use this as being the middle section because the middle section of the shirt is in good condition. So the first thing I need to do, I need to measure how large of a section I want to have as a burgundy stripe. I'm going to take the tape measure, and I'm going to want it to start right at the bottom of my rib cage and right at probably the largest part of my thighs to try to break that up, my hips. So I'm going to actually do mine 10 inches. I'm going to put a 10-inch burgundy stripe in the middle, and I need to add, I'm going to do a 1/2 inch seam allowance on each side, so I'm adding a full inch. So my middle section that I'm adding into the dress is going to be 10 inches, and then I'm adding 1 inch for seam allowance. So that means I need to take this shirt, button it up. Okay, so I have the shirt buttoned up. And what I did is, I put a pin. See a little pin right here? I put a pin right there because I tried on the shirt. So I wanted to decide also where within this button line I want my stripe to happen because we have to make sure that our button line looks as even as we can get it. So I needed to pay attention to my button line. So I needed to decide between which buttons was I going to be inserting this burgundy, this rust-colored stripe into. So I went ahead and put it right there. It's going to be right in between those buttons, right there. So I buttoned up my shirt, and you can see I have a pin here, and I have another pin right there. That is my 11-inch strip that I'm going to be cutting out. I'm cutting out this direction, and I chose that section right there because I have a pocket, and this is exactly 11 inches, and there's no more buttons down here. So it was perfect. 11 inches. I'm getting just enough buttons in there. Everything's going to still work out just fine. But that pocket I forgot about that pocket. It kind of put me at risk of making a different size stripe. But I do have enough room to make an 11-inch stripe. So now I'm going to be laying this on the ground, and I'm going to use a ruler, and I'm going to cut straight across. I have a button, so I'm cutting through the back too. So I'm going to cut straight across my first pin and then go down 11 inches, and I'm going to cut straight across there. So I'm taking this whole middle section out of this shirt. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I cut out the midsection of the other shirt, and now it's time to put it into where we want it on this shirt. You can kind of see where I'm going with this. It's going to have a burgundy stripe in the middle. So, since I'm going to be using about a 1/2 inch seam allowance, this is where I have it pinned where I want my insert to go, is right in between these 2 buttons. So I'm going to go down a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to cut the shirt in half. I'm just going to make one cut straight across. That's going to open up the shirt so I can insert the burgundy stripe in the middle. Do you see where I'm going with this? Hopefully it makes sense. So this is halfway between these 2 buttons, so I know this is where I want my insert to be. So I'm going to go down a 1/2 inch, and that's where I'm going to make my cut all the way across because I'm using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So let me go ahead and cut this shirt in half, and I'll be right back. So I'm taking the top part of the shirt, set that up there for now. Taking the top part of the shirt, and I'm going to attach the burgundy stripe. Now, okay, we need to keep pay attention to where our buttons are at, because we need to make sure that the buttons are going to line up. You don't want, like here I have it backwards. I have it upside down in accident. If I unbuttoned it, it opens this way, but the shirt opens this way. So I need to make sure that I'm doing it so that everything matches up, so it's going to look seamless. Okay, so now the flap for the button opening is the same. So I'm going to put a little pin so that I know this is the top. This is how the button line needs to go. I'm marking it. I'm putting a pin there. Next, I'm going to turn it inside out so that we can attach it. I'm going to slide this on. I'll show you in just a second. As you know, I don't have the greatest setup for doing videoing. Okay, so I went ahead, like sides together. I pinned them. I slid the stripe. So here's the bottom of my shirt. I just slid the stripe inside out. And you know how I pinned the top of the burgundy so I could tell it was the top? See, there's my little pin. You have to make sure you unbutton your shirt. The section that has, I got my buttons in here. See, there's a button there, and there's a button there. So I know my button sides. So I know my button sides are together. And then over here, this section, because I unbuttoned them, see? I know this side has buttonhole and a buttonhole. So I know I have the right sides connected. So I went ahead and then I pinned to make sure my side seams are connected, pinned at the side seams next. So I pinned at my side seams next. These shirts are both the same size because they're the same brand too. So I pinned my side seams next and then put the pins in between. Pulled it nice and tight, and then I pinned the back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to the sewing machine, and I'm going to do a zigzag stitch. And the reason I'm doing a zigzag is because this material will fray a little bit, and my pinking shears aren't very sharp right now. So after I get done, I'll probably take it to the serger anyway. But so I will do a zigzag stitch all the way around this entire opening. Okay, that's going to connect the burgundy stripe to the purple stripe. So we're going to take it to the sewing machine and connect those, and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, so I'm done stitching it together. I stitched around the entire circle, so now I can turn it inside right. See? And I have attached the stripe so far into the middle. There. See? My button line, everything matches up. So I got the stripe in the middle. Now it's time to attach the bottom half of that original purple shirt to this stripe. So we do the same thing again. Okay. Got this, and I'm going to turn it inside out. Okay, this is easy. You can tell what the bottom of your shirt is. Here's the top of your shirt. We want the top of our shirt. We're going to connect it to the bottom of the stripe. So I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to slip it all the way up so the burgundy comes out. So there's my stripe on the inside. Okay, there's the front of my shirt. So this is going to be the bottom of my dress, see? I slid it over, and here's my burgundy stripe. So my burgundy stripe is on the inside. Right sides together, because as you can see, the outside one that I'm adding on is inside out. See, right sides are together. Okay, first thing you're going to do is you're going to pin these side seams. So I'm going to take a pin. That way I know, because you've got to have the side seams and your button line to match up. It's another reason why I'm using two shirts that are the exact same size. They're both my husband's. They're both the same brand and the same size, so it makes it a lot easier. Okay, I'm going to pin one side seam, go across to the other, and other side seam, making sure everything's matched up. Okay, after the side seams, I need to match up the buttons. This is where I told you it's a little different. I need to unbutton this top button. Good. Okay, on both layers. I'm going to pin the two together that have the buttonholes. So pinning the two that have the buttonholes first, making sure my edges, everything match up nice and neat. Then I'm taking the two that have the buttons, matching them together, making sure the edges match up nice and neat. Okay, just like that. And then keep pinning all the way around. That's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, now that I've got it all pinned together, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew all the way around the border, connecting that bottom of the shirt to that middle burgundy stripe. So I'm going to go sew this together and I'll be right back. Okay, so I sewed all the way around the circle. And now let's turn it back inside right. And voila. Now, obviously, this is huge. So I'm going to try it on and I'm going to try belting it and see what it looks like. I'm going to put it on the mannequin real quick. That makes it easier. But it's a lot easier to put the shirt together, making sure the front matches that. The button line is the most important part of this whole thing. Making sure that lines up when you're sewing it all together. And then after you've got it all put together, that's the time you go back and take in the sides if you need to make it smaller, doing the pinch and pin method. And if you've been watching my videos, especially some of my older videos, with a lot of the dresses that the refashioning I was doing of the dresses, here we go. I used to do a lot of pinch and pin. So this is considerably longer than what it used to be. Now, last time I did this, my mannequin collapsed on me, so I gotta be careful. So, see? Now it's a lot longer, and it's more of a dress. And, oops, I gotta button it all. Okay, there, got it all buttoned. So that gives it a lot of character. See, I like the burgundy, and you can use any two colors you want. They don't have to match in any way, shape, or form. You could make accessories or accessorize it to make it match. You can, which I might end up doing, you can do the same thing that we just did here. Do it to one of the sleeves. Cut out a section of, like a little strip of the sleeve and replace it with burgundy the same way we did this. You can put a burgundy stripe in the sleeve, which I might end up doing. But I just wanted you just to give you an idea, a little inspiration that you can do on your own. And let me get a belt. Of course, this belt doesn't match it. I just grabbed one off my floor. Okay, well, that's one option. If you don't want to take it in and make it more fitted, you can do that by simply putting an elastic belt around it. And there you go. If you do want to size it down to make it so it's more fitted in the silhouette, just remember to turn it inside out, pinch and pin, pull out and pin a new silhouette down each side, and then just do a straight stitch right down each side of your pin lines. And I've done that in several of my earlier videos, and so I'm not going to do that today. I just wanted to do a quick video because I had only 1 hour. It's a snow day today, and I just got noticed that my kids are getting out of school. I live in the South. We don't get snow, and snow wasn't supposed to be here until this afternoon, and the school's just called, and school is being dismissed in an hour. We have to have our kids picked up. So this video is getting cut short. So basically, I gave you the idea of how to take 2 men's shirts and turn it into a cute dress. Well, this is Amy with Fashion Toppings. Until next time, you have a great day.